Welcome to the overtime edition of The Gloves Are Off. I'm Moses Boldo. I'm pleased to be joined by Greg Buchanan.
Hey, Moses.
How's it going?
Not too bad.
Excellent. And we're pleased to be joined by the Rustlers women's basketball head coach, Chris King. What's going on, my man?
Not much. It's nice to be here.
All right. Well, we're going to continue with the questions we didn't get to on the show, and we're going to start off with the Mueller report. Now, the former FBI director, Robert Mueller, came out with a report last week that exonerated the NFL and Roger Goodell of any acknowledgement of the videotape. Now, there's a lot of controversy when that tape came out, saying the league did know about it and kind of swept it under the rug. Sad to know, and we were just kind of discussing about this before, that TMZ scoops you before you actually get to it. But nevertheless, they were exonerated. They could have done a little bit more to investigate, but however, given the conditions and what they did, there was no wrongdoing by the National Football League or Roger Goodell. Does this exonerate him fully from any blame, or does this still tarnish his, I guess, reputation?
I don't want to sound like a negative guy, but here goes. Who hired this guy to do the report? Is he getting paid by the NFL to conduct this report? And if he is, well, of course he's going to say there's no wrongdoing. But seriously, the NFL did not know about that videotape before. And we talked about this subject before, where they're in the elevator, they're talking. Next thing you know, the elevator opens up and he's dragging her out. Guess what happened in the last 15 seconds? So, yeah, I don't really buy too much into the report.
Yeah, I don't buy it either. Good question, NFL paying him. How long is he getting paid from the NFL? That's going to be my question. I don't think Goodell's image is clean at all right now. I think there's just too much going on in the league, and I think they got to do a better job of being proactive, especially with a major issue like that, domestic abuse. I think the steeper penalties you're going to see moving forward on anyone that does anything out of line in terms of assault or abuse.
Just a heads up for you, I was just looking this up real quick. On September 10, 2014, the NFL asked former FBI Director Robert Mueller III to lead an independent inquiry. So the NFL said, look, you do this, we will give you the evidence that you will need, but he wasn't paid by the league. So just a heads up. So I wanted to make sure we get that clarified. I'm not trying to support him, but I'm playing a little bit of a devil's advocate. That's what I'm supposed to do on this show. Hey, okay, so we talked about Roger Goodell and the potential innocence, so let's move on to something a little bit lighter. And then the National Hockey League came out with their all-star, players were announced. If you look at the roster, there's no PK Subban. This is no longer the East or West. It's just a lump sum of players. Each player or each team will get a player to represent them. So the Edmonton Oilers, for example, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, will be at the All-Star game. Do you feel the way the format is, where each team is going to be represented, much like baseball is, that's the proper way to go? And is PK Subban not going to the All-Star game the right decision, considering how everything works out?
I don't think that's how you select a true all-star team. I think you select it on the season they're having, how their team's doing, how important they are. I don't like that you're picking a player from every team. I think PK is one of the most exciting players in the league, and I think that's what that's about, is creating excitement for your league and entertainment.
Yeah, I think PK should be on the team. Do I think Nuge should be on? Gee, that's a stretch. I don't think that you should have a player from each team, because who's kidding who? We watch them all the time. Do the Oilers deserve to have an all-star on the team? No.
But you know what? It's nice for the league to show all 30 teams off. That's the whole point.
I get it.
It's like baseball. Baseball
what
does
market
it.
are you pitching to?
You
though,
can see
right?
that, but you can see that in baseball too. There's always a pitcher or somebody that gets represented for the team. Do they seem to be appropriate, even though they're terrible? Do the Houston Astros deserve an all-star nod or a player to be in the all-star game?
How much attention are you getting from Atlanta, Columbus, from them getting their one all-star compared to getting 5 or 6 from one of the top teams, Pittsburgh or Boston or something like that?
Let's say we have Chicago here. How many all-stars do you think they could have on their team? We have the Edmonton Oilers here. How many all-stars do you think they can have on their team? I think
0.
Chicago's got a few, right? So.
I will say this. One thing that keeps puzzling me is I believe the Leafs do have a couple representatives. One is being Phil Kessel. And it's interesting enough, the guy I think is minus, 53 or something. He's a minus player since he's become
Oh, give
elite.
Phil a break.
So-
Okay? Phil's a great Xbox player. I love the guy.
Okay, well, there you go. We'll leave it at that. You get the last word. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Moses.
Thank you. And thank you as well, Chris. It's awesome having you on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, and thank you for joining us on the Overtime edition of Gloves. You can, pardon me, I'm losing my breath here, getting a little emotional. Well, you can see our show 7:30 on CIATL every Tuesday, or come back to our Facebook page and see the questions that we didn't have. In the meantime, we will see you in 7 days.